Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Rowe, the Paranormal Priestess. Hope everyone is doing great out there. Welcome to the Paranormal Priestess YouTube channel, friends. I'm really glad that you joined me, and I'm really happy to be here supporting those who are on divine paths. Things are getting really interesting. Lots of really big changes. If you are new to this channel and you were just guided or clicked on the video, I welcome you here. My name is Elizabeth. I am a divine channeler, psychic medium, remote spirit extractor specialist, as well as a divine twin flame on the path towards manifested union. And if you are a brand new twin flame, and chances are you may be awakened to this journey just recently, I never forget now to recommend Twin Flame Recognition. It's a video that I did which is very straightforward, down to earth, very direct, on helping you to recognize different signs, different experiences which make you a twin flame. Some things you may need clarified, maybe some things just don't make much sense. And I'm hoping that the video that I uploaded will help make more sense out of things for you and help you realize that you're not crazy and that these are very real experiences, and you just might be an authentic twin flame on the journey. And so you might want to check that out, Twin Flame Recognition. I also have a twin flame communication video, but I definitely recommend the twin flame recognition video first. Just to get a couple of announcements out of the way before I begin this video, just to announce again, I did a video on this, but I just wanted to tell anyone who's new that I am a remote spirit extractor specialist. It is work that is very unique. It's highest level work available actually via the light body. And this work has been upgraded, and the type of work that this is really going to cover so many areas in terms of clearing dark beings, clearing out in the physical space and also on a soul level. And those who are on divine paths usually are dealing with these things, unfortunately, and it's because of our light, it's because of what we're here to do for Gaia. And unfortunately, it's a part of the journey. But I'm here, I do the crazy work. I know some people just don't envy my journey whatsoever, and I respect that and I get it. But myself and my beloved, we're just here to deal with these darker energies, and that's what we do. So I handle not only the spiritual communication part with speaking to your angelic team and your guides, channeling them, but I also handle the bad guys too. And this work has recently been upgraded, which is the big announcement. So not only is it covering your soul spaces, such as your physical space, your dream space, your manifesting space, your being, your soul essence, your veils of remembrance, it's also covering key soul aspects, so all the aspects of your multidimensional bodies, your entire soul complex, which would be your consciousness levels, and it's also covering your DNA structure, your RNA structure, as well as your connections to the divine or your diamond structure. The activations have been upgraded massively too, so in terms of being conscious, this is going to help dramatically in connecting all the divine lines, connecting the consciousness levels and the gridding and the diamond points and all of these things, and also anything that's addressed within the multidimensional bodies, connecting the lower aspects to the higher aspects. So it's a really full activation that I'm offering now, which it was just time, Archangel Michael said, to learn to expand this work further. And so that's what I'm doing, and I do all my work with my spiritual team led by Archangel Michael. So if you want some more information on that, if you feel like this could be you, that you feel like you're getting psychic attacks, or there's dark energy that's somehow blocking you out and stopping you from moving forward, I'm here to check in with. You can always contact me. Please contact me first and don't pay for anything first. You can go to theparanormalpriestess.com and you can inquire there, and I can check in to see if we're a vibrational match like I do with all my services, if it's guided, of course, with my team. I'm the right person for you. And if so, we'll check out and see, if there's anything such as universal laws or rituals or ancestral curses or anything like that has to be addressed first before I can step in. So those are some things that I have to look at first. So the paranormalpriestess.com, that's where you'll find everything, all my services, my contact page, my bio. So definitely you can go there. I do apologize for those who I haven't been able to get back to in terms of inquiries, or if it's been a long delay. I actually had a lot of clearings that were kind of all in 1 week, and I kind of learned my limitations with that. As much as I want to step in and help people, and I do, I'm so committed and passionate about doing that, I have to know my limitations there, and it can be very draining on me, and I need to be able to find my balance and recharge and all of that. So thank you for those of you who have waited a little bit of a while there for me to respond, either from you paying for a reading or inquiring about one. There was a lot of clearings that I had all in one shot, and it took me some time, and especially that I'm doing the upgraded version now of the work. So going to definitely adjust myself with how many I can reasonably do. It's just going to be best for everyone involved. So now with this video, so onto the video. This is actually a request, but I'm going to add a little bit more to it. So I know Anna, if you're watching, hi Anna, you requested a video on working with the violet flame. Excellent, excellent, excellent choice, Anna, because the violet flame is super powerful and super helpful when it comes to especially those who are on the twin flame journey. It can help anyone and everyone, quite honestly. But for twin flames, it's going to be just completely a tool you want to turn to. Now, as twin flames, if you are still kind of new to things, there's a lot of clearing work that is on the plate on the twin flame journey. And the clearing work itself is what puts a lot of people off. It can be very exhausting to do it for a while. Some people tend to, after a while, feel like they just want to give up because they just had it. And the purging can be really miserable. But at the same time, this is all very, very necessary. And it's necessary because we chose this before incarnation to be able to achieve self-mastery as what would be known as advanced souls. People say old souls. We'd be old souls, but we'd be advanced souls more correctly. And we came here as old souls to basically graduating souls as our last incarnation to be able to clean up our karma, work our way towards achieving self-mastery, and to come into sacred union with ourselves, with the beloved, with, of course, the divine. For those of you who have chosen to come together in physical union, I truthfully stand by that you know who you are, because if you have that desire to truly connect in the physical, I really believe that the divine puts that desire there, because that's that knowing that you are supposed to come. You have that full potential to come together here in the physical. So to be able to take all those opportunities and run with them, it's all about the clearing. The clearing, the balancing, the empowering. It's a lot of work, and that's why twin flames tend to do this. They come together only to separate. They come together only to separate. They come together only to separate. And it's because we have a lot that's coming up as mirrors. Your counterpart would be your mirror. They'd be your direct mirror. And so when you come across your counterpart, whether in the physical or whether energetically, it does not matter, it triggers you to go onto this huge awakening where you are remembering the self. And you then have so many things that are coming up that you know that it's time to let go of. These things are no longer going to serve your higher vibration. You're here to achieve the highest vibration that you can. Here to be your authentic self, your Christed self. So that healing journey starts happening, and it can be very uncomfortable to have some of our fears come up, many of our fears actually, and conditioning and belief systems and all of these things that we take with us as baggage, and it holds our vibrations down. It keeps us down here, and we're here as graduating souls, as advanced souls, to move all the way up in vibration. And to do that is to bring the love, the unconditional love, and to template the earth. Templating means to bring the new way, the brand new template as far as love goes in relationship. As we know it, there's been 3D relationships based on ego, and not based on soul love and sacred love. And we're here as Divine Twin Flames to be able to offer that type of love, that template to everyone, to all of humanity. And we chose to do this. So how do we get there? Well, for any of you who have been on this journey for a while, it's going through the hellish ride that you have been going through. And I'm not here to color the twin flame journey in a negative way, but I'm also here to be very real about it, that there are absolutely beautiful, exhilarating, and intoxicating parts about this, about how we feel about someone who has absolutely woken up our heart space, feeling things that we've never felt before for another, feeling this longing and this connection, this deep spiritual connection that we've never felt with anyone else. Someone who really awakens the very core of us and helps us to become more spiritual, more creative. Life is never the same. And it is so beautiful, it is so positive, and it's meant to be that way. But with your mirror also comes, bringing up, triggering and bringing up all of those things which stand between us and pure, unconditional love. And like I said, as twins, we carry a lot with us and a lot from other lifetimes. So the clearing part, how do we best clear that? Well, the only thing I can say is from, the experiences that I have been going through and what has helped me. So that's what I have to offer, and I'm always paying it forward. One thing that I can say for sure is that we're always helping our beloveds to heal and clear. So if you are watching any videos that are saying otherwise, to not help your twin flame heal and that you don't have that impact on them and all of that, I definitely have not experienced that. I have had a very close, direct connection with my twin's higher self for a long time. Also, the physical ability to channel him, which is something rather rare, can be a little strange, I think. But I really appreciated that because I got to know my divine masculine. I got to know where he was coming from, and he got to guide me through healing and clearing and what would work for us both. So I had the validation there. And so healing for our twins, we're doing it together. We have to always recognize that healing is done as a unit. Whether your twin is thousands of miles away, they're on the other side of the planet, even if they're only a mile away from you, if they're across the street from you, it doesn't matter. If you've never met your twin flame, but you've met them energetically, we'll say I never met them physically, you met them energetically, okay? And this goes for my own case at this point. It doesn't matter. Their energy is present with you. It's very much like a spirit guide type of way. But they are with you, and so the clearing still stands, and the things that are purged and mirrored, still that process happens. Because it's all about energy. It's journey. Just understand it's about energy. So if things are not working out in the physical right now, and you know your twin in the physical, or perhaps you've been in a relationship with them before, or dated before, and things have gone down bad, and you've had that separation phase, and many have, and maybe you've come back together only to find that there were triggers again and separation again. That's due to the fact that there's more healing to do. There's more clearing, there's more transmuting to do. And we are always going to have mirrored to us what's there for us to heal. Our beloveds, our counterparts, are always going to show that to us. Again, it can come off extremely painful, very, very hard to have to go through that mirroring and triggering, which is the intensity of it alone is what has a lot of the twin flames go into that runner stage. Back out of there and just sometimes deny the journey because it's just too intense. It's very hard to look at these things. But in terms of coming into union, it's the only way. Twin flames tend to carry a lot of karma Karma is a really, really big word. And some people get really scared of that word. And it's not a scary thing. It's just the reality of it. Is that karma means actions between people. And we've lived definitely more than one lifetime. And we've had these exchanges. And the experiences could be both positive and negative. So we could have both positive karma and negative karma. There's dharma as well, which is related to self-inflicted action. So we could have negative dharma, and we could have positive dharma, achieving our dharma, our life purpose, our potential, fulfilling our dharma, if you will. But we're going to focus on the karma. And the best way of transmuting karma would be the highest level alchemy tool that you could use, called the violet flame. Now, the violet flame, if you want to think of the seventh ray would be the purple ray, the violet ray. Think of Archangel Zachiel and his twin flame amethyst. That is the archangel that you could call upon to work with this tool. We have Saint Germain, Master Germain. He was a priest in Atlantis, and he was able to bring this tool out to people. And this tool is the Holy Spirit in action. And what it's able to do, transmute basically means transform. It can transmute lower energies into higher energies. It can transmute emotions, thoughts, beliefs, all these different things. It transmutes karma. It's a very, very powerful, powerful force. And it is a tool that I highly recommend to all twin flames. Many twin flames do have karma at one point or another, if not all. But the violet flame is not just limited to karma. So, and I want people to know that, because this is what I have learned from experience, that the violet flame can be used for transmuting thought forms and emotional forms and all these different things. What I do have to say about that, though, is that with the violet flame, the more specific you can get with what you're transmuting, the better the result. So that's just a little hint there. We are turning the negative into the positive. The violet flame also helps to raise your energy, your vibration, your frequency to the highest level. So it's very, very, very powerful. And you can invoke this once in the morning, once at night, or just once a day, or you can do it many times during the day. And I personally recommended morning and night. If you can do it 3 times, great. But more so than not, people don't really have the time to do it too many times. But morning and night, I would say, would be the best way to do that. And it literally will change your world. The violet flame invocations that I found in this book, and I always show it, it's called Soulmates and Twin Flames, The Spiritual Dimension of Love and Relationships by Elizabeth Clare Prophet. It's a little book there. You can bring it anywhere with you. The work of Elizabeth Clare Prophet, I've talked about this before, and Mark Prophet, it's just really a gift there, because when there was no YouTube channels, there was hardly any information on the twin flame journey. Elizabeth Clare Prophet and Mark Prophet were preaching. They were preaching about twin flames and really bringing out the work. Elizabeth Clare Prophet was bringing out the work of the violet flame and how powerful it was, and that it was best to use it. And today, actually, I'm wearing an amethyst crystal. And working with the violet flame, you may want to keep a violet crystal on you, or hold a violet crystal. Amethyst would be great. I also use purple fluorite, would be another great choice. You could use sugilite, another really powerful violet stone. You can also light a purple candle too. So you can make it very, very ceremonious if you'd like. You don't necessarily have to do that, but you can. What's really important before you start is that you are asking for high-level protection. And it's very, very crucial that you do that. And this is not to scare anyone from, not working with the violet flame, but it's very important to remember that this is a very powerful alchemy in terms of a divine alchemy of the Holy Spirit. And so, if your light is very, very bright, it can attract the lower to you, the lower beings and things. So calling on Archangel Michael first and protecting your full existence. You might want to call on Michael to protect you with his blue light throughout your full existence. Okay, gold is also very, very powerful. I did videos on high-level protection that you might want to take a look at, just to give you a couple of hints. White light is something that I don't recommend fully. You can use it, but in terms of protecting yourself and shielding out your energy fields, you want to use the blue, the gold, and the violet. And I always talk about that. The white light, you can use that as a way of just masking your energies. But when we're talking about protecting your fields, which is what I address, and I get to see, the result of when someone isn't protected. So trust me, I got the bigger picture of that. I always recommend that using the blue, the gold, and the violet lights, and to have them applied to your full manifest or your full existence. That's the highest level protection there to shield you out. And it's important because you are a multidimensional being. You exist in a multidimensional way. You exist in other dimensions and timelines. So that is very, very important here. Okay, because in terms of time and space, it does not matter with beings, with lower beings. And think that makes sense to you, right? So the best way of asking for protection is going to be through your full manifest and your full existence to make sure that you are protected in every dimensional way possible. So that is what I recommend first and foremost, and to not be forgotten before you do any type of high-level work, spiritual work, and certainly the violet flame is. The violet flame, this is what I recommend. Now, it can be absolutely invoked in a very simple way, but to take it a step further, before invoking, if there are fears that you are aware of that are coming up for you, and if you're not aware, you may want to sit down and ask your team, protect yourself first, but ask your spiritual team, to help you to pinpoint some of the things that you're feeling and some of the thoughts that are coming up, and why you're reacting this way, and what is it connected to in terms of its root cause and any contributing cause. Is it a root cause that derives from maybe your mom or your dad, or a very a highly emotional experience that you've had with an ex-partner? Was your heart severely broken? Was there a traumatic event that happened to you in which there were emotions that are still there, which would be known as repressed emotions? And with repressed emotions, I address that in the spirit extraction work, actually. And with the repressed emotions, there's usually false psychological beliefs that end up being connected to those repressed emotions. It's good to explore these things to understand more specifically what you are transmuting. Why is that? Because it's just going to assist you in transmuting it more fully. If you're not as specific, that's okay. But just know that the violet flame, at least in my experience, that when you're transmuting, it will tend to bring these things up, so that way you do become aware of them. And you could have, a bit of a healing crisis there, or a purging that can happen. It's not a bad thing, but you understand that with energy work, for those of you who are energy healers, many of you are, that when you're shifting around energy at such a high divine level, there is that part where your body, everything has to catch up, the energy healing to settle in. Your body has to settle and, basically recalibrate. And so it's important to know that the violet flame can bring those things up. So we're always healing and transmuting, right? And this is happening in layers and layers and layers. So my suggestion is that if you can sit down with your spiritual team and kind of get some of those things down a little bit more specifically before you transmute, and have them in mind when you are transmuting with the violet flame, that much better, to be able to really get to it more fully and more in an accelerated manner. Okay, I am here for channeled sessions. If you're not sure, we can get to those things. Michael comes through, Archangel Michael comes through brilliantly, and a lot of times we number these things so that way we know exactly what they are and what is the root cause of it. So that way you have that. Okay, so if you're not sure and you feel like you need extra support with that, maybe you're not sure if you're hearing your team right, that can happen, and you're not sure if you trust it, but you just want someone to revalidate, I'm here for you. So we can do that. So if you can get those things down first, great. If not, that's okay. The violet flame is very, very powerful. It's going to assist anyhow. So the thing to remember about the violet flame is that you want to be able to bring it through the crown, and you want to visualize and breathe. And breathe it through your crown and envision your entire existence, your full manifest, being engulfed in these violet flames. Just so you know, you absolutely can, and I recommend you doing this for your beloved as well. Absolutely. This is not just limited to you. You are a team. You're in this together. Whether you're in separation or not, even if you haven't met yet, doesn't matter. It goes beyond time and space, just like this dynamic does. The twin flames, their love goes beyond time and space. It does not apply to this journey whatsoever. So you can start out with just visualizing it and breathing it in, closing your eyes. And a simple way of invoking the violet flame is, I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that God desires. So as you're saying that, you can close your eyes, you breathe it in, bring that violet flame through your crown, filling, envision as much as you can, the best way you can. Use your intention if you're having a little bit of trouble with the visual part, and just visualize or intend that the violet flames are engulfing and burning away and transmuting all throughout your full existence. So this is past, present, and future as well. It's everything of you, your full existence. It's really, really, really powerful. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that God desires. And it's a chant. It's an invocation. It's rhythmic. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that God desires. And really tap into it and feel it and have this come through. And hold that intention of what you're transmuting, what that fear is, that belief system, that conditioning. And if you know also for your beloved what their fears and conditioning, what the root causes are from that, that's even better too, because you can hold that intention as you also invoke it for your beloved. And the way you can do that is by the same way that you did it for yourself, by envisioning your twin flame in front of you. You can envision them, say, maybe in a crystal temple. It could be in a garden. It could be on a serene beach. It could be on a mountaintop. Wherever you really resonate with, that's the way you can do it. And you can visualize them. Either they can be in our original way, like sitting across from you in Indian style, meditative style. They can be standing. Again, go with what works for you. And visualize the flames coming through your beloved. If you feel more comfortable, I know I do this. I put my hands out, and it's like I'm bringing the flame through him, through his crown, through his full existence. That's what I'm intending. That's what I'm visualizing. I'm visualizing the violet fire flames just burning all throughout him, transmuting. So you can say whatever your beloved's name is. His name, her name, is a being of violet fire. He or she is the purity that God desires. Okay? So you can either do it 3 times for yourself and 3 times for your beloved. You can do it 9 times. I like to stay to the sacred numerology, so I'll do it 3 times. Or if I'm going to go longer, I'm going to do it the 9 times if I have the time. But usually I'll do it like 3 times for myself and 3 times for him. Okay, so I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that God desires. Okay. Make sure you're breathing it through. You're visualizing it coming through the crown and throughout your full manifest. Intending it very, very strongly. But of course, you want to have that protection in place from Archangel Michael, Mother Goddess, Father God, and Jesus Christ. Assist you with the protection also. But you want to have that protection in place before you bring this very high alchemy tool in. So that's just a really, really simple way of doing that. So this book I recommend. I couldn't possibly go through all the invocations. They have a bunch of prayers in here, but it has great information in bringing the sacred parts of all of the twin flame journey. It's really a beautiful thing. We have a lot of information that's going out on YouTube, and you have to really use your discernment as to who you're listening to, and if you resonate with it, and who is actually putting a lot of fear-based things out there, or or putting their own negative emotions out there. You just want to be careful of that. So ask your team. Ask your team. Very important to also scan people. What do I mean by that? Scan to see if they're authentic. They're authentically divine. They may not be. I always keep it very, very real, and most of that is due to the remote spirit extraction work that I do that I have to be very, very careful about. So I got to learn a lot of the things that go on. Some of them are pretty scary, but I'd rather have the information and the knowledge and put that in action than not have it. So it's just really, really important, and it's going to keep you safer and your beloved safer to understand that, if someone is coming off a certain way and you're uncomfortable with them, to listen to that, and you may want to ask your team if this is really an authentic person as they're claiming to be, or are they cloaking as such. So it's really important because we have so many people out there, and there's so many twins that are awakening, that are looking for information, that are confused, they're in a vulnerable state, and that's when those lower energies kind of swoop in there and take advantage of the situation. How do I know? Because it's happened to me. I could write a book. I started writing a book some years ago. I really want to continue it and put that out there eventually, because it will blow your mind, the things that I've experienced across a few states. I lived in several areas of the United States, and the things that I experienced with this journey. Woo! Insane. It could be a James Wan movie, honestly. It may be, who knows? If not, maybe my beloved and I will come around to getting that accomplished. Putting it out there. But the whole point is that use your discernment with everything. But the violet flame is extremely powerful, and it's also pays to mention too, to make sure that you are well grounded after you invoke the violet flame. Because it's so powerful, because it's such a high-level spiritual alchemy, you want to be able to bring yourself back to the earth and become present again. You want to be able to acclimate all the energies, integrate it all. And you want to be present here and not feel like you're off or you're dizzy or anything like that. The violet flame, like I had mentioned, it can bring up some things. I have noticed that after I've used the violet flame very powerfully, that there have been like maybe a day, I'm not saying it's going to happen to everyone, but for me, like a day after or so, had some purging come up. But that's how powerful this alchemy is. So it's about staying with it. And if you feel like it's too much, too quickly for you, you could take some breaks in between, and you don't have to do it as often as every day if you feel like it's been too intense for a little while for you. So just use your own intuition with that, but it is quite powerful. Let me see if anyone asks. The violet. I'm going to put this out there too about the violet flame, which also can be used as the violet fire. And some people maybe don't really talk about this as much, but the violet fires I have used with Archangel Zachiel is just very high level protection also. When I used to do clearings in the physical, when people had paranormal activity locally, and I would do a whole ritual with also the homeowners or whoever lives in the house who wanted to be in the ritual. I took them through a lot of the high-level methods that I talked about in my videos, both the earth-based ones and the higher celestial ones. And we invoked the violet fires. I had them do that. So this was not to transmute, but this was to invoke the violet fire as a way of raising the vibration and frequency the highest level possible and protecting us. So it definitely can be used as a very protective force as used as the violet fire. Again, think Archangel Zachiel and his twin amethyst for that. So they don't talk about that too often, but yes, you can use the violet flame as the violet fires as a way of protection and raising your vibration and your frequency. So even if you're not transmuting, this would be fantastic to do. So that's the violet flame, and yes, it definitely was well used in Atlantean society. So for those of you who resonate with Atlantis, resonate with being human angelics from Atlantis, the violet flame will certainly resonate with you. It was a tool that was highly used in the society of Atlantis. So I'm sure that there's some books that are out there on the violet flame, but in terms of both twin flame information and having great prayers and invocations and violet flame decrees that you can choose from, this is what helped me. This is what did it for me. So clearing there, let me give you some hints as far as what's helped me clear with myself and my beloved. For me, I have done a lot of letter writing, and this has helped me. So for some of you who resonate more so with words and writing, this is going to work better for you. Some may not work as well with this, and you might work better visually. That's fine. So just find your comfort zone. But for me, I did a lot of release work for myself and my twin by writing letters. I would write, say, my twin a letter, and say there were things that I felt like at the time were very difficult for me to understand or accept, and I was being very negative about those things, fearful about some of the choices that my Divine Masculine was making, and just feeling very, very worried about it. And I really felt like that it was going to be best to get this out and to clear it for us, of course. So what I did was I sat down with my team, my angelics, my guides, and I sat and actually wrote a letter to my Divine Masculine, basically saying that, I understand, I get why you've made the choices that you have, that I'm no longer holding on to resentment or judgment with things that you have done or anything that I'm aware of with that, and to really understand that, my Divine Masculine is on a journey just like me, and a lot of the experiences that he has gone through, of course, they have been developed through his upbringing. They've been developed from lifetime to lifetime. They've been developed from all these conditions, from people who he's been in relationships with, friendships with, worked with. You're a product of your environment, they say, right? So, but the thing is now is that we're here to be able to shed all of those things and not be a product of our environment, but to really step into our true authentic selves and be leaders here on the earth. So whatever conditioning that's not been our authentic selves, but more so created a false identity, those are the things that we are releasing now. We're taking off the mask, right? You think of the superhero, right, that has the mask, Batman or Catwoman, and we're taking that off, and it's no longer about what we're projecting to the world in that sense, but we want to be able to show our true nature, our true selves, bearing our bones, basically, right? So it's helpful to understand this when we're sitting and we're doing clearing work for ourselves and our beloved, that the things that we are reacting to, those things are a product of their environment and not necessarily truly who they are. It's what they've taken on as their identity. I've talked about this before in another video. Especially when it comes to, social media and the blocks that go on LinkedIn and WhatsApp and all these things, Facebook. And your twin may be in a place where they're thinking that there's someone in particular, identity, and that's not really truly who they really are, but it's who they've always believed themselves to be. So it's important to understand this perspective when you are clearing, and to understand that he or she has taken on these things because of experience A, B, C, D, E, F. And what are those experiences, right? What has caused your beloved to take that on? What has caused your beloved to take on that type of belief? What have they gone through? Who have they gone through it with to develop that kind of belief, that kind of conditioning, that kind of identity? Traumas, they can do a lot, right? Many who have been on divine paths have been bullied, have felt really isolated as children, and these things can stay with us. And what happens is some people deal with it and that they feel like they have to put up a wall because they feel like if they don't do that, then someone can come along and hurt them. So they're very, very squeamish as to showing their authentic selves, because if they were to do that, they feel like that vulnerable state will somehow be attacked. So these are the things to keep in mind. If you are in separation, or if your beloved is acting in a certain way towards you, especially in their experience with relationship, okay, and lack of true intimacy, right, and lacking the sacred in that, that there's a lot to understand there. So the more you understand, the better you can be able to write a letter to your beloved or release these things on behalf of you both, with the understanding and the acceptance that, oh, okay, I get the entire picture as to why my beloved is acting in a certain way, or projecting themselves into the world in a certain way. Okay, this certainly holds true for those who are, say, high-profile people or public figures or celebrities. And there are twin flames, of course, that are celebrities or public figures, definitely. And you can get caught up in a lot of the imagery and what you are trying to market as yourself. That you become a product, right? And you get caught up in the whole wheels turning of the whole product that you're putting out there, right? You're putting out a certain image, and you want to try to keep that image. So there's a lot of factors here. I couldn't possibly go through all of them, but I just want to give you a greater overall sense as to when you're clearing. It's just that much more. It's easier for you to understand, to put forgiveness and acceptance out there, and to release judgment when you understand where it's coming from. And when you understand where it's coming from, it's that much easier for you to be proactive and to clear it and transmute it when you know. So the more you know, right? So definitely I'm one who stands by being proactive. So you can write letters. That's a way of doing it. I have also done it with prayer and taking a salt bath. Now, of course, with water and salt, they're very purifying. In terms of using it as earth-based practices, I've used it plenty. It's great for consecrating, purifying. Basically, it's a type of holy water, if you will. And so great way to purify yourself, purify your body and your energies is taking a salt bath. You might want to add, like, say, a purifying candle, like a white candle in there. I've used Jesus candles in there. I've used Virgin Mary. I've had Archangel Michael candles in there. Whatever's going to work for you. And again, if you have the ideas there as to what you're clearing for yourself and your beloved, understanding the greater picture for you. So it's a lot of digging in deep and discovering, how you've shut yourself down and how you're still holding on to certain belief systems and conditionings, and how you're, how this came to be and the experiences that you have. So it's a lot of digging in. But the more you know, you can just use your intention, ask your spiritual team. I definitely highly recommend Archangel Michael in terms of clearing. Fantastic. And they will help you to use your intention and to clear it. You're clearing it again, remember, out of the full existence of yourself and the full existence of your beloved. Okay, you're releasing it on behalf of your union. Okay, so everything that you're doing is with having your partner in mind. Whether you are physically talking, whether if you had a fight and you're in separation, whether you haven't met yet, it's no matter. But you're doing it on behalf of you both, because you're always impacting each other. Your traumas, your belief systems, your addictions, your fears, they're absolutely connected with him or her, and vice versa. You are impacting each other at all times. Okay, so it's always about being the mirrors of each other. Salt bath, great idea. You can do that and put some soft music on, meditative music. There's lots of great music on YouTube that you can use if you do a salt bath to use that. Again, full existence, and the more specific you can get with what you're clearing, the better. If this does not happen right away and there's more of it left, which it can be, don't worry. Just keep chopping away. Keep chopping away. Ask your team. Connect with them. What is left. What is left of this? And just keep working at it. I also suggest, in terms of clearing, that it's very beneficial to keep a dream journal. Keep track of your dreams if you can. Even if you're just writing down a couple of sentences when you wake up, it's just really super helpful, because the dreams really tell you a lot as to giving you guidance and mirroring for you where you're at on your journey. Lots of symbols there. They're going to be very personalized to you. You'll have experiences with your counterpart. Many times they dream of each other. Of course, we know this telepathy that's always there. The telepathy should give you a lot of hints also. They're keys as to where your beloved's at within their heart space and their head space. And, you might want to jot those telepathic insights down too, whether it's directly connecting consciously telepathically, or if it's subconscious. If you're receiving songs from them, if you're receiving flashes, if you are just getting a feeling and it's not coming from you and you sense it's coming from your beloved. These are all indications as to where you are energetically, and this can help just give you the keys of clearing, so that way you can shut the door on these things for good. Again, it may not happen 1, 2, 3, but you'll have very clear ideas, and you keep working away and peeling away those layers. Okay, so dream journal might be helpful there too. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't want to make this video way too long. I always talk about that, but I hope that this has helped just give you some ideas. And the violet flame is going to be one of those things that's going to be really highly important on your journey, and you definitely want to use that. Okay, so karma, and is something that's a very, very big thing that happens on the twin flame journey, and we want to be able to clean up our karma. So that way we can raise our vibrations, and that's going to assist us with coming together with sacred union, okay? Absolutely. There's more to it in terms of finding our own balance and everything like that, and our empowerment, and being able to balance within and balance in between with our beloved. But cleaning up our karma is really a big one, guys. So if you're not working with the violet flame and you're not clearing throughout your full existence and being proactive with that, it just goes along with the journey. I know it's a lot of work, but we came here to do that. And of course, there's going to be more work when you come into sacred union and physical manifested union. And then you'll do that with each other, which will be a beautiful thing. So we're always going to be clearing. We're always going to be doing the healing work, and we do that. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to offer our cleanest and our purest vibrations here to assist the planet, because that's what it's about. It's about bringing the love. Okay? That's all I'm going to cover for today. So violet flame, any questions, any comments, you can definitely leave them below. Love to hear them. And, give it a shot. See how you feel. I'm hoping that this has helped someone out there. And if you haven't, realized that, the karma and the clearing is a part of the journey. If you're new to this, then I'm hoping that this is going to open you up to that and help you along to move forward on your journey. So I hope it does. This is perfect. From the heart of the darkness is born the light. Brightest blessings, much healing and love to all of you, and much strength. And I will see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.